What's up, beautiful people? Jay here once again. And I recently heard someone in my Facebook group say that they heard someone say that layering your artwork in Printify could result in a better looking print.
What?
Having had my own DDG print shop and never hearing of such a thing before, I was kind of shocked, and I totally pushed back right away, saying that, that's not how it works, blah, blah, blah. It's not the way the process works. But then I thought to myself, wait a minute, what if in the 7 months since I sold all my equipment, something new with the software came out and I was totally wrong? What if things like the amount of pre-treat, ink color pause, 100% opacity settings, stuff like that, didn't really matter anymore, and you could just layer designs as many times as you wanted? Maybe that would make the print more dense? Denser? More dense. No way. Right? Like I've said, the only way to know is to test, so that's what I did. If you're new here, welcome. I'm all about helping people regain control of their most valuable asset, time. I want you to spend more of your time doing what you want, when you want, and with the people that matter most to you. If that's something you can dig, make sure to subscribe so I can continue to help as many people as possible. Let's do this.
So going back in time here, I did something totally crazy, and I went to SwiftPod's website and sent them a message through their chat. I know, crazy, right? So I wrote, "Hey folks, hope you can help me. I've recently been hearing that you guys will print with heavier white ink if users double up their artwork in Printify. As someone who has recently owned a print shop, this doesn't make any sense to me, but now that I'm a Printify and SwiftPod user, I want to make sure that I don't steer people wrong if I tell them it makes no difference and that any actual difference in print quality is purely coincidental." They ended up emailing me the reply, and this is what they said. "Hi Jay, we only receive one PNG file even if the layer is doubled in Printify. The print will not be doubled on our end, as again we only receive one PNG file. I hope this helps. Thanks." So obviously I knew there would be skeptics out there that this answer wouldn't be good enough for. So I spent some of my own money, like $50 worth, to show you what I mean with your own eyes, and ordered 2 sweatshirts and had one printed with the single layer artwork and one with the artwork doubled up. Here's what that process looks like from start to finish so the skeptics among you can see it all. If you trust me, you can skip ahead 3 minutes or so into the future where I opened the package.
You can see what they say here. One single layer of white artwork in Printify, and the other one is 2 double layers of white artwork in Printify. So what SwiftPod will get on their end is just a single PNG, as if you uploaded one layer, not a duplicate. They don't get 2. It doesn't come out thicker. If you upload a PNG at 100% opacity, meaning opaque and not see-through in any way, shape, or form, then duplicating it isn't going to make any difference. It isn't going to add ink layers. It isn't going to add any heaviness of ink. So things that will impact the ink density on a shirt versus, one versus another would be things like 2 machines side by side, one having been serviced more recently, one having been run more consistently, temperature, the newness of the print head in the printer itself. These are all things that you'd know if you had any exposure to print on demand and owning or operating your own equipment. My background that way, we had our own print equipment for 2 years. We ran a print shop. We had a Brother GTX. My wife and I printed for ourselves. Okay, so now I'm going to save this, select this, I'll select this one. Now I'm going to save this into Photoshop, and you can see when I hover over here, you can see the RGB is set to 0 because it's black. Do a Command I. Now you can see 255. The opacity down here you can see at 100. It says opaque as you can get. Save it to my SwiftPod. We'll call it double layer 2. And I'll do the same for this one. You can see that it's, again, you'll watch here, you'll see it populate. So 255 RGB, that is your pure white. The opacity is at 100, and we'll call it single layer 1. Save that as the PNG. Save. So we'll go start designing. I will use my double layer artwork, which I'm going to duplicate here in a minute. We've got our artwork here, and you can see here, if I hover here, we'll duplicate. So I'll just click that, and now there's 2. I will align it perfectly centered over top of the other one and save products. So you guys know that there are 2 layers here. And we'll just name it double layer art test. Save as draft, and I will do the same with the single layer artwork. Save that as a draft. So now I'm gonna order my samples. I'll make it an XL, why not, for an extra buck and change for me to wear something in the cold Canadian winter, or I can donate to charity. And I will add another product, which is the single layer artwork. And there we go. So you guys saw everything. I'm gonna calculate shipping. Shipping is gonna be brutal because I'm in Canada. I'll click fulfill. All right, and you can see sending to production. So I will follow up in a few days when I get my order, and we'll see what they look like.
Doc, I'm from the future.
Okay, so here we are. It's December 13th. I actually got everything December 2nd. It took a week to process. It was shipped on the 22nd from LA to my home here in Canada in about 10 days. So not terrible. So let's see what we got. I did open the bag. I haven't pulled anything out yet. I realize I gotta do this on camera. Okay, so they're folded nice. Right away, I don't know if you guys can see that, but right away you can tell that there's definitely no extra layer of ink or double layer there. Okay, I've got 2 shirts stacked here. You can definitely see the print. And I'll read the bottom again to you. It says, see, no doubling up your artwork in Printify does not mean SwiftPod will print with more ink. This is because the print company gets artwork as a single layer. You can also see that it looks probably standard, I would say. I wouldn't say it's awesome by any means. And let's see, the first layer actually, if anything, looks a little thicker. The machines also do an ink circulation. If I recall, it was once every 20 prints or 25 prints. The machine will do an ink circulation, and typically that first print is better than the last 3 or 4 before that ink circulation. So lots of different reasons why, but I'll hold these up side by side so you can see here. There's the 2, and they look pretty much the same. The number 1 looks a little better than the number 2, but as far as the wording goes, they're all the same. So yeah, that said, myth debunked. There's no such thing as layering your artwork. It doesn't work. It's not how the print process works. Unfortunately, it's just a big waste of time. So whether you do it in Canva, whether you do it in Illustrator, Photoshop, all that stuff, you basically cannot get any more than 100% opacity. It's just impossible. Another potentially massive issue that can arise when you're doing things like doubling up artwork is that if you don't actually line them up, if you've got some like minute detail in that, in your design, and you don't actually line them up perfectly, you're gonna get all kinds of weird halos or glows and or just a crappy looking print at the end of the day. So none of us want that. Don't invite headaches. I wish I got this out earlier, but you don't want customers in the middle of Q4 reaching out to you telling you that the print looks weak, or just don't do it. If you guys are finding any value in my videos, please subscribe so that one day, hopefully less than 12 months down the road, I'll get monetized and I can recoup some of that money that I spent on showing you guys how to save a bit more time by not layering your artwork.